Hi everyone, I'm Miss Katie from Rockland Public Library, and today we're going to be reading Amy Wu and the Patchwork Dragon. I don't know if any of you have read any Amy Wu stories before, but this is her second story, and she has at least 3 so far. This one is written by Zhang and illustrated by Charlene Chua. Let's see what happens in Amy Wu and the Patchwork Dragon. During story time, Ms. Mary reads Amy's class a book about dragons. Look, not just the class is watching too. I think there's also some animals watching the story time. Dragons that hoard treasures. Dragons that blow fire. Dragons that fight knights in gleaming armor. Afterwards, she tells everyone to make their own dragons. Make them special, she says. Make them yours. Sam draws a dragon with enormous teeth. He crafts the wings from postage stamps. Willa sculpts a dragon with a big fat belly, and she strings daisies together to make a tail. Amy paints a dragon with a long, thin body. It has horns like a stag and claws like an eagle. Are you sure that's a dragon? Asks Sam. It doesn't look like a dragon, adds Willa. Amy says. Maybe they're right. Amy scribbles with her pencil and doodles with her crayon. She glues beads to the paper and some of her hair. Oh no, there's beads in her hair. Bits of dragon emerge. Dragons with shiny green scales. Dragons with leathery wings. They look great. They look like the dragons in Miss Mary's book, but none of them work. None of them feel quite right. These dragons are not the dragons Amy wants to make. Time to clean up, says Miss Mary. I'm not done, cries Amy. I'm not done. The rest of the class puts their dragons on the show and tell table, but there's nothing for Amy. Nothing at all. Look at everyone's dragons they made. Some people drew them, but some made them 3D. That one looks like it's made out of a tissue box. Willa and Sam come over after school, but Amy can't even smile. Oh dear, says Amy's grandma. Why the sad face? So Amy tells her. Her grandma gets a twinkle in her eye. Come, she says, let me tell you a story. She tells them about the dragons that bring the rain. Look at these dragons. They're long, just like the ones Amy was drawing, and they don't have wings. Look at those long, long dragons. She tells them about the dragons that bring the rain, the dragons that are wise and just, dragons that fly without wings. Amy runs to the attic. She remembers where she got the idea for her dragon. She pulls out something red and yellow, something with a big fat snout and golden horns. A dragon, gasp Sam and Willa. A dragon, agrees Amy. Amy's grandma puts on the costume head and Amy puts on the tail. So look at this dragon costume. There's gonna be 2 people inside the costume. Let's see. Here they come down the stairs. Together they dance down the attic steps and roar through the house. Roar! Can you give a dragon roar at home? Roar! Maybe you can bring this to school, says Sam. Here comes the dragon. Roar! Please bring it to school, begs Willa. Says Amy. She thinks about the dragons in Miss Mary's book. She thinks about the dragons in Grandma's stories. Bringing the dragon to class would be great, but There's something missing. Something to make it the dragon Amy's dragon. After Sam and Willa go home, Amy begins to plan. Scribble, scribble, cross, cross, scribble, scribble, scribble. She shows the sketches to her family. Will you help me? She asks. They measure out fabric and cut it into shape. They carve a cardboard frame and fasten the cloth. Oh, what are they building? Amy knots together 3 silk scarves and then adds some beads. Oh, something long and scarfy. Ready? asks Grandma. Amy takes a deep breath. Ready, she says. Amy comes to school with a big paper bag. The other kids gather round. Is it your dragon? asks Willa. Show us, says Sam. Amy pulls out the dragon's head and she invites Willa and Sam beneath the dragon's tail. Together they dance through the classroom and they roar between the desks. Everyone cheers. Miss Mary laughs so hard she can't even breathe. Look at Miss Mary laughing. Here they are under the dragon. Look, it's the costume from the attic. And I think they've added some scarves. And I can see beads. Amy's dragon is red and yellow. It has big fat snout and golden horns. It has enormous green wings and a tail of 3 silk scarves. And beads and glitter, lots of glitter. It works splendidly and it feels just right. There's the dragon. It is exactly the dragon Amy wanted to make. The end. So there are all kinds of different dragons. There's no right way to do it. We can use our imagination and make it any way we'd like. But we're going to learn a little bit about 2 different kinds of dragons. This is the Eastern dragon. This is the one that Amy drew at the beginning of her story. One with the horns and the claws and the long, long body. An Eastern dragon is a symbol of good luck and strength in many cultures. It usually has a long, thin body and no wings. Its horns look like stag antlers and its claws look like eagle claws. Its body is covered in scales. Eastern dragons come in many colors and can have a wide range of magical powers, depending on the story. Often, the dragons are very intelligent. That means they're very smart dragons. Another type of dragon is the Western dragon. You'll see the Western dragon looks a little different than the Eastern dragon, doesn't it? Looks a little different. The Western dragon usually has 4 legs and 2 pair of big leathery wings. Like the Eastern dragon, their bodies are covered in scales. But unlike Eastern dragons, they often breathe fire. Stories about Western dragons tend to show them as greedy creatures that live in caves and love treasure. Their horns tend to be sharp and pointy, and their claws look more like lizard claws. So there's difference about them. Lizard claws and eagle claws. Sometimes these ones have legs, sometimes they don't. These ones often have 4 legs. They both have scales, but this one is known for being greedy, and this one is known for being smart and bringing luck. So I have an assignment for all of you at home. Maybe you can all see if you can draw 2 dragons at home. Do you think maybe you could draw an Eastern dragon and try a Western dragon at home as well? And maybe even make your own Amy dragon, where you can make any kind of dragon you want. You could make it be a blend between the 2 like she did, or maybe you can even add something new. maybe your dragon has 2 heads, or maybe it has octopus tentacles. You could make whatever you want. Use your imagination. I hope you all have a wonderful day full of fantasy and wonder. See you next week. Bye-bye.